This chapter presents the basic concepts of computer security. The objective of computer security is to protect a computer system's valuable resources such as information, hardware, and software. Security relies on confidentiality, integrity, and authorization or availability. Nowadays, as computers become ever more prevalent and connected with each other, computer systems need to be protected against increasing number of attacks, malicious codes, and ID misuse. Several techniques are available to minimize computer security risks, namely passwords, encryption, firewalls, and antivirus software. Furthermore, computer users need to be aware of various security threats and the tools available to protect computer systems. Up-to-date legislation governing computer security, data protection, privacy laws, and other IT laws are vital in order to fight against cyber offenses and protect users. Traditionally, most people's idea of computer security focused on the physical computer. An example is the prevention of theft or damage to the hardware. Today, however, with omnipresent computer access, communications, and networking, physical measures rarely provide meaningful protection for either the information or the service. Generally, computer security is referred as the process of preventing and detecting unauthorized use of computer systems and the data stored on them. Prevention measures help to stop unauthorized users from accessing any part of the computer system. Detection helps to determine whether or not someone attempted to break into the system, if they were successful, and what they may have done. Computer security is the prevention of or protection against intentional but unauthorized destruction or alteration of information on a computer system. Security is frequently associated with some main areas, which are the aims of computer security. The security aims discussed are confidentiality. Sensitive data transferred over computer network need to be protected. Confidentiality means to protect the data being transferred from exposure to third party. The need for keeping information secret arises from the use of computers in sensitive fields, such as government and industry. Encryption is one of the methods used to avoid data from being seen during transmission. Data are encrypted before sending and decrypted on receiving. Integrity. Integrity of data is important for data transmitted over a computer network. It guarantees the data or information being transferred is intact and trustworthy. In other words, the data received by the intended receiver should be exactly the same as it was sent. Digitally signed document helps to maintain the integrity of data or information being transmitted. Authorization and availability. Authorization is the access control that authorizes who has the right to access what information or operation in a system. It can be controlled on individual or group basis. Users are given different access privilege or rights to perform tasks in a computer system. Usually, access is granted by entering valid username and password. For example, students may not be able to access certain intranet services while their lecturers have access rights to them. However, the availability of computer systems is crucial to many businesses or organizations, and in some cases, the lack of availability can result in significant financial losses. For example, the unavailability of banking computer systems can result in clients unable to access their funds or In the bank, employees unable to process transactions. Computer security threats differ in importance. The types of attacks or misuse of computer systems can be placed in the following general categories. Denial of service. Denial of service attack is an attack against a system that either reduces its performance or overloads it to the extent that the system hosting it crashes. However, a denial of service attack is characterized as an explicit attempt to prevent legitimate users of a service from using that service. Examples include attempts to flood a network, thereby preventing legitimate network traffic, attempts to disrupt connections between two machines, thereby preventing access to a service. Masquerading or spoofing. It is an impersonation or imitation of one entity by another for both deception and usurpation. When the attacker is capable of sending data with the illusion that it is coming from a different source, this is called spoofing. It lures a victim into believing that the entity with which she is communicating is a different entity. For example, if a user tries to log into a computer across the internet, but instead reaches another computer that claims to be the desired one, the user has been spoofed. Email spoofing is where you send an email message with a from address different than your own. Thus, any machine in the network can act as if it's another machine and hijack all the information flowing. Virus or malicious code. Malicious codes are mischievous programs, the purpose of which is to disrupt the normal operation of computer systems. They spread by infecting other computers in many ways, through floppy or portable disks, emails, and file downloads. Viruses infect healthy programs in a host computer, and then spread to other healthy hosts, infecting them as well. Computer viruses may simply cause a harmless message to appear on your screen occasionally, or may render your system inoperable. There are some types of malicious codes which are stated as below. Worms. Worms are usually small programs which are capable of copying themselves between systems. They often overwhelm network and systems resources as they attempt to spread. A worm can make fully functional copies of itself and travel through a computer network across the internet through a number of means. Viruses are similar to worms, except that they attach themselves to other pieces of code and are spread as that code is executed. Trojan. Trojans are malicious programs that sneak into a victim computer disguised as harmless software. Trojans may also be wrapped inside another program so that when the original innocent program is installed, the Trojan program is installed as well. The life cycle of most computer virus has 4 stages. In the dormant phase, the virus is idle, but not all viruses have this stage. In propagation phase, the virus places an identical copy of itself into other programs or into certain system areas. Triggering phase is when the virus is activated to perform the function for which it was created. In the execution phase, the function for which the virus was created is performed. The function may be harmless or damaging. There are 3 main categories of viruses. Transient virus. It is the most common virus form. It attaches itself to a file and replicates when the infected program is executed. Memory resident virus. This virus type is lodged in main memory as part of a system program. Virus may infect every program that executes. It selects one or more programs to infect each time it is executed. It hides in the computer's memory and infects a particular program when that program is executed. Boot sector viruses. It infects important files located in boot sector and spreads when the computer system is switched on. Consequently, it gains control of computer systems before the virus detection tools, thus it is very hard to notice. Common carrier files for boot sector viruses are autoexec.bat, config.sys, etc. Theft and sabotage is another threat to computer security. Theft of confidential information or software is a potential problem. It consists also of sabotaging information systems by damaging computerized data. Theft and sabotage also occurs from unauthorized access or trespassing into a computer system. Fraud. Computer fraud is a serious cybercrime nowadays. Examples are changing input data in an illegal way or entering unauthorized data and modifying output of a computer system. Other types of IT-related fraud are financial fraud by misuse of stolen credit card details or other financial information, telecommunication fraud by the use of telecommunication systems or services for dishonest purposes. According to surveys, the most common type of attacks are those resulting from malicious codes. Today, email has become the most widely used means in daily communication on the net. It is quick, inexpensive, and convenient. However, despite its convenience, you may not be fully aware that there are a number of security issues in email communication. Email security is a service that intercepts and examines the email addresses to a domain. Any suspicious origin of email is filtered before reaching the mail server. This prevents malicious attachments, spams, other unwanted mail, and attacks off the network. Spam blocker or anti-spam software are used to provide email security. Since email has become an integral part of our daily life, it is important to understand the problems and potential risks in these security issues so that corresponding actions can be taken. Encryption of email. Email encryption is commonly used to convert an email message into an unintelligible form that prevents people other than the intended recipient from reading it. This is a powerful tool to protect user privacy. The science of encrypting information is known as cryptography. Encryption is the process of coding a message so that its meaning is concealed. The process of transforming an encrypted message back into the original readable form is called decryption. Usually, the encryption algorithm, or also called cipher, is made up of mathematical steps for encrypting and decrypting information. A special piece of secret data called a key is normally used in both the encryption and decryption process. Email client